Hi there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and you're in for an extra special treat today because you won't just be hearing from me, but you're going to be hearing from a lot of other experts who are speaking at Get Organized HQ Virtual, and we're going to be answering the question of what is one habit or routine that is helping our homes run more smoothly. And if you're interested in making sure that your home is running at its best, then I highly recommend that you check out Get Organized HQ Virtual if you haven't already yet. The link is down below. It's where you're gonna hear from over 100 different people on ways to get your life and home running well, from things like decluttering, organizing, time management, meal planning, all that kind of stuff. You'll find it for free. Just click the link down below to check it out, and we're gonna go ahead and share our answers with you. A few months ago, I got really overwhelmed with the state of my house. So in the main areas, I made myself a checklist. I call it a mental health cleaning checklist because, like, when things get out of control, it really does affect my mental health. And this has changed the game for me. So anytime I get overwhelmed, it's like my reset button. Now, it does take a little bit of work, but I go through everything in the same order. I have these printed out and accessible to me. So I'm going to go in the same order, and it lets me focus on one task until it is complete rather than having to jump from task to task and never really get one done. So this mental health cleaning checklist has been a game changer.
Do the dishes. Even if I can't do anything else, if I can do the dishes, my house stays out of disaster status.
Not multitasking. Not multitasking is my secret sauce. Not doing two things at once or three things at once, but just being mindful of just being present where I'm at and doing what I'm doing in that moment. So, for example, as a homeschooling mom, I won't be cleaning the house and homeschooling my kiddos at the same time. I like to stick with one thing at a time.
So this is going to sound super simple, but it really works. When my alarm goes off in the morning, I stopped hitting the snooze button. I used to think that every time I hit snooze, I was catching up on a little extra sleep and just giving myself some more rest. But the truth was, I was kind of in like this dazed twilight sleep. I never fully fell back asleep, and I never actually felt more rested. And then when I got up out of bed, I felt like I was chasing after the day and it had already gotten away from me. I was already behind. By stopping hitting the snooze button and getting up when my alarm goes off, it really made all the difference.
Routines for sure. I have all of my routines stacked on top of each other, and I anchor myself to those routines every single day. So do my kids. The entire family runs on some really specific routines that we put inside of 5 key time blocks.
Decide what your non-negotiables are for you in your home and in your family. What are the tasks that need to be done on a daily basis and are non-negotiable? It can be, I want to every day empty the dishwasher in the morning, and I want to fill it up in the evening and turn it on. I want to wipe my kitchen counters every day. I need to make sure my recycling is done. My laundry is really getting me down. So why don't I start with doing a load of laundry daily? I need to feed my pets. All of these things. What are your non-negotiables for you and your family? Time yourself doing these tasks so you've got a much better feel for how long it takes you to do, because if you know that something only takes you a couple of minutes, it's much easier than to go, yeah, I can do that this morning, I can do that this evening, and really do your future self a favor.
When I get up in the morning, I get dressed every single day. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, if I've got plans, if I don't have plans. When I'm dressed for the day, it's just, I feel like I can deal with anything, whatever the day is going to bring. Just makes me so much more productive and just gives me a really good feeling.
Every Sunday, I pack snacks for the week. So whether it's bagging goldfish and Cheez-Its and things like that, making protein balls and putting them already in bags of like 4 or 5 protein balls, washing any produce that hasn't been washed yet, and kind of just like portioning things out for the week. So that whether it's school or summer, doesn't matter. When it's school, it makes making lunches so much easier and quicker in the mornings. And if it's summer, same thing. It's quicker to get out the door and get things packed and ready to leave. So I love doing that on Sundays, just kind of like taking an inventory of our pantry and our fridge and getting things pre-portioned and ready for snacks.
Do it right away, because honestly, if I put it down at any point in the journey of completing this task, it's not going to get done. And there's going to be doom piles, or Kelly doom piles, as my husband likes to call it, all over the house of unfinished tasks. So do it right away, because otherwise it's not going to get done.
Is closing my kitchen every single night. If I can just go in there, clean off the counters, and start the dishwasher, then I don't get those piles and piles and piles of dirty dishes in the sink. And for me, that is such a big win, because I feel like if my sink is full of dirty dishes, the entire house just feels wrong. It feels dirty, stinky, disgusting. So if I can just get that one thing done, even if I've got other things messed up all over the house, it never feels as bad.
I have been putting things away as soon as I am done using them. So before, I would eat breakfast and then I would leave my dish in the sink. I'm not doing that anymore. Now, as soon as I'm done, I'm cleaning it up. I'm putting the dishes away. I don't let things sit for later. And that has been a good habit to get into.
I created a recycling closet that not only holds like plastic and cans and paper, but now there's a dedicated bag for household good and toys that will go to a thrift shop like a Goodwill. And it also has a bag for specifically for textile recycling, like shoes and clothes that are worn out. And this allows me, when I'm picking up and cleaning, I can decide, is this time to rehome this item? And I put it in the thrift shop bag or in the textile recycling. It has made everything so much easier because it's quick, it's accessible, it's on the top of my mind, but of course it's in a closet, so it's stowed away.
Having a designated spot to toss my receipts when I get home from running errands. This ensures I do not have to turn my entire house upside down looking for one of those little slips of paper when I have to make a return, which probably happens 9 times out of 10 when I buy something, right? So knowing I have one basket, one place to look to find the receipt I need is a huge time saver.
We have a chore board system. So what we do is have all of the chores for the whole household on there. And there's also opportunities for them to earn extra money if they're looking for, splurging or whatever they want to do. There are envelopes attached to each chore, extra chore, I should say, like we call them bonus chores. And, based on whatever it is, that's how much they earn, but they can do that and then just take the money. So it's kind of a self-serve station, I guess, but we have our regular chores. And we also have things like reminder charts, especially in the bathrooms and things like that, just to tidy up after. But it makes everything just go much smoother and everyone is kind of on the same page for what needs to get done.
There are so many flyers that find their way onto our kitchen island. So something I've done is that I take a picture of them the second that they come in so I can immediately throw them away. And that picture then goes into an album on my iPhone that I can go back and look up the details of that event when it's coming up. And I immediately put it on the calendar, even if I'm not sure where we're going to go, just so that it's on there and it's off the countertop. And then I have the details saved in an album on my phone.
I have found that if I know what our meal plan is and I've grocery shopped every single week, then everything else runs so much better. Because at least in my family, if I know what we're going to eat each day and each evening, all the rest of our schedule can kind of fall in around that. From a craft perspective, one thing I like to do that makes things run smoother is make notes after each project is complete, because that way the next time that I go to do that project, then I can take a look at the machine settings or the heat press settings or what other things I learned the last time I did this project so that I don't repeat mistakes and waste materials.
Put things away as you go. It's already in your hand. It's going to take probably less than 10 seconds to put it away, especially if it has its own home to live in. And you're not going to be tripping over it. It's not going to get messy. It's not going to get in your brain. It's not going to sit there looking at you, think, I've got to do something with that. And make sure that your husband, your kids, everyone's putting things away as they go. Much easier.
Anybody else hate the dishwasher? I loathe it with every inch of my being. I see its necessity and I like that I like having clean dishes, but I hate doing it. So we have 3 kids, my husband and myself. We put ourselves in rotation. Between the 5 of us, we just rotate. It goes from oldest to youngest and you just put it on rotation. If you're not home for a few days, you get pulled out of the rotation. And as soon as you get home, you're right back in it again. And it just keeps on going through it. So therefore, you don't feel like you're constantly one person having to do the same job over and over. It just gets put into rotation and everybody wins.
Nightly resets. So putting the kitchen to bed, so to speak, picking that up, doing a quick vacuum around the house of obvious dirt, picking up clutter. It allows us to like reset the home each night. It only takes a few minutes, but we start then each day set up for success. And I feel like it makes a huge difference.
I clothes away. I put the dishes in the dishwasher. Just these little habits of not touching things multiple times. It makes it so much easier.
Don't put it down, put it away. So that looks like when I walk in the door, if I'm carrying things, if I've got my work bag, I've got some shoes on, I've got a jacket, instead of just putting them down at the door or putting them on the kitchen table or on the bed or on the floor, I put my bag away where it belongs. I put my shoes where they belong. I hang my keys up where it belongs. This one habit is a gift to my current self because when I do it, I don't have that mental load of having to remember to do it later. But importantly, it's a gift to my future self because I don't have to then tidy up after myself. And then when I want to find something, it's always where it should be because I didn't put it down in some random place. I put it back in the home where it belongs.
I am all about a 20-minute reset at the end of the evening. So, you know, when you finish watching TV and you're getting ready for bed, I like to give my home a quick refresh. I pick up all the items, wash any dishes, and just generally get the house ready for the next day because there's nothing worse than waking up the next morning to a messy home. So this routine has helped me stay organized.
Creating recurring reminders. I personally use the app Todoist to help keep me on track so that I don't have to remember things that have to be done, whether it comes to cleaning, chores. I've also recently started using the app Streaks to help when it comes to my morning routine, my evening routine. And so that not only helps with not having to constantly reinvent the wheel with routines, but it also helps with accountability in that I see the streaks and it helps to keep me on track.
Most definitely nighttime routines. If I can get my nighttime cleaning routine completely done, then I wake up with a fresh start. There's not a ton of things to do, and I feel like my day always starts so much better.
Teaching my kids life skills and taking responsibility around the house has been a game changer. We actually have a chore routine where all the weekly chores are listed out, and each of my 4 kids has to choose 6 of them every week. They have autonomy to choose when they do those chores until Sunday at brunch, and then it's game time. That's the first and only time we have to ask them, have you done it? And say you can't play until you do. And this not only shares responsibility, it gives a really simple system, but it also gives the kids agency and builds like executive function and planning skills for their whole lives.
Every evening, we do a quick 15-minute evening reset where we tidy up those high traffic areas, prep for tomorrow by laying out clothes, packing lunches, reviewing the calendar for the next day, wiping down those areas, doing a quick sweep, and making sure the kitchen is tidy before we go to bed at night.
Well, I used to pack every single day with unrealistic goals, and I don't know if anyone else has done this, but recently I've been giving myself 2 buffer days. So that's Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I have cleaning, chores, and whatever other business goals for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But on Tuesday and Thursday, I give myself those days just to catch up. So since I stopped packing every single day and gave myself a little bit of buffer, it has really helped my peace of mind and my home to run smoother.
We live by in this household, don't put it down, put it away. It makes everything run so much smoother because things aren't laying about, cluttering up the whole house. But best of all, when you need to go look for something, you know exactly where it is. So we don't put things down around here. We put things away.
Is clearing out my sink at night, loading the dishwasher and running it so that I start with a fresh slate the next morning. Getting that kitchen clean, that's a big deal.
A wandering tidy. It's what keeps my house always a little bit more contained and settled without a whole lot of planning or effort. So every morning
while the kettle's heating up, and every evening while my husband is kindly doing the dishes for me, I wander around the house and I'll look and I'll see if there's something out of place. If so, I pick it up, I go put it where it belongs, and then wherever I end up, I look around there. If there's something out of place, I pick it up, I put it away, and then look around that area. And I keep doing this until the kettle's heated up or the dishes are done. And this way it gets a little bit of energy out. I start the day and I end the day on a very productive note, feeling good. And it just keeps everything a lot more calm without adding something to my to-do list or creating a big plan to do it.
Whenever I get a good size box from something that I've ordered online, after I've emptied it, I put it just inside the door to my garage. Then as I come across things in the house that I don't use anymore, that I don't need anymore, I toss them in the box. When the box is full, I put it in my car and I add a donation drop to my errand run. And then I start again the next time I get a box. It's genius. Decluttering is so easy when you do it this way.
In Empty Nest, my husband and I have settled into an ebb and flow pattern where we divide the responsibilities. He goes to Sam's for our groceries, and I stay home, which I love. He's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I run the sweeper. He does all the laundry except for my hand washables, which I won't let him do. And we take turns with dinner. We have settled into a nice routine where we share the load, and that helps.
I do a daily room reset. At the end of each day, I take just 10 minutes to tidy up the rooms and the zones that I was in. So I put the tools back, I clear off the table, maybe sweep a little glitter off the floor. Now, this is not about deep cleaning. It's about giving tomorrow's me a head start. Because when I walk into a ready-to-go space the next morning, I feel focused, calm, and excited to work and create. And that energy carries into the rest of my day too.
It is for sure using Google Calendar to keep track of everyone's appointments and activities and special things going on. Anything that I need to remember, it goes into Google Calendar, because then I have one place to check to see who needs to be where, when, what time something is, what's the Zoom link for this, where is that activity happening. And not only can I check it from my computer when I'm working, I can also check it from my phone on the go. It has been a lifesaver.
On Sunday evenings, we take a look at the week ahead and we decide who is going to be responsible for cooking dinner one night that week.
If you loved hearing about our favorites, I know you're going to love Get Organized HQ Virtual. Make sure you click the link down below and get your free ticket if you haven't already. You don't want to miss it.